Not every day we start the episode in a car on our way to pick up a new engine for a new project, but hell, here we are. Now, I have only seen photos of what we're on our way to pick up, and much like an unfortunate Tinder date, photos can be deceiving. So I'm hopefully not driving to Gatton for nothing. Now, this new GQ Patrol build that you would have seen in a recent episode is tidy. It's immaculate. It's a bloody French kiss worthy vehicle. But that means one thing. We need to destroy it.
What did he say?
Now, a quintessential GQ Patrol build needs a couple of things. One of those being a quintessential Patrol engine. That's not to say it's a Nissan engine though. If you go and think of all the engines that you've seen swapped into Patrols, one of those that you're thinking of is what we're on our way to go and pick up. Hopefully the one that we're on our way to go see out in Gatton is the one that we end up buying, because it's a long way to drive for a piece of shit. Not for me. Roll the intro, let's get into this. Yo! Okay, now before we get to Gatton to have a look at this engine, I need you guys in the comments below guess as to what you think it could be. Have I stuck true to my roots and decided, yeah, diesel is well and truly dead, we don't want to see anything more? Or maybe I'm going back to the OG days and building another diesel for me. Maybe it's a blend of both. Is it an OM606? Is it an M57? Is it an LS? Well, drop your comments below, because we are 20 minutes away and you're about to bloody find out. Having never been to Gatton before or towards Toowoomba, it's feeling a little rural, which can only mean one of two things. He's a really nice guy, or he's lured me out here to bash me up, cut up my body, put me in a barrel, and you'll never see me again. Let's hope it's the first one, but can never be too sure. Update, we've arrived. I've messaged him. Now, waiting to see if I get killed or if there's an engine here. Hi, bro.
Yeah.
Good to see you. You got an engine for us?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah. This is cool. You got a private testing strip for
Yeah.
all your engines.
Yeah, it's not a bad little spot, eh?
I like it. Now, this is Thomas, guys. Now, Thomas had this engine up on Marketplace, but was a follower of mine, knew who I was, which helps me because he then also said we could come to his private shed and see his GQ that he's built. And I've just seen it, and it's nice. I know I've been banging on about saying I've got the nicest GQ, but I think I have been lying to you guys. We'll show you that in a second. First thing we need to do is show you guys what we're picking up. I made Thomas put a sheet over it so that it would be a surprise. So let's go have a look. Now, I told the people it could be a couple of things.
Yep.
OM606, M57, LS, another one FZ.
All of it should be good.
All of which would be a good, but not as good as a dirty TD forklift motor. I have not once in my life, ever in 27 years, worked on, driven, heard, had anything to do with a TD42. So I figured, what better time than now?
Bloody oath.
Dive in the deep end. Might I add, Max from HD Auto is really not pleased about this whole thing, but he can go f himself. He's going to work on it regardless. This thing was one of the cheapest TDs for sale. There was a lot of people asking a lot of crack money for them. This one was $700 and I very quickly jumped on it. But the photos, which I'll put on the screen here, were very rough compared to what we see here. Thomas was nice enough to piece it all together, put the head on for us and make it look like an assembled motor, which is going to make our life way, way easier.
Poor man pays twice.
Big time. Which is scary because I am a poor, poor man, but fingers crossed it's all going to be okay. I'm going to put this camera down now and I'm going to switch to the bigger camera and I'm going to show you guys this because this is Tom's. I didn't think GQs were as clean as this. I didn't think they existed, but I was wrong. And this is the replacement TD, far off running.
Not much longer. I just got the pump and everything coming this week.
Very cool.
Hopefully pick up a turbo as well and fire it up by the end of the week.
We made it to Gatton here in Tom's shed. Now, he's been very hospitable, put this thing all back together for us, looking Mickey Mouse, and he's got a very, very tidy GQ there, which has given me plenty of ideas. Now, bit of backstory is that is the TD out of that. He blew the out of that up, and now it's mine. So that's good. And he was one of the few people that didn't want drug money for their shitty TDs. Most people had them that have been like, not pulled apart for 7 years, never ran, no proof that it ever ran, and they wanted like $2,000. So Tom's got us out of a little sticky situation. But this one is going to get dropped off to Donnelly's very shortly. He's just going to hold it until after the Sydney show. I don't know when this episode is going to be going up, but we've got the Sydney show in a couple of days' time. We're going to tear this down. We're going to go through it, make sure it's all sweet. We're going to start a pretty spicy build with this. So I'm keen to bring you guys along for the ride. I think once Tom's finished his GQ, which isn't too far off, we'll do a sus with Sam on this because it is very cool. He sprayed it himself. New TD crate motor. He's got a whole bunch of cool suspension stuff coming. So once that's all buttoned up and dialed up, I reckon we get him back in here and we'll do a little rundown. So it's very cool. Not every day you see a really, really tiny GQ. Most of them I feel like are a little not gonna lie to you. So hopefully mine and his, cleanest ones in Australia. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Everyone's probably yelling at me in the comments. But anyway, here's the game plan, folks. I'm going to back the Effie in here. We'll get this off the stand, onto the crane, into the tyre, in the back of the truck, put my one strap over it and hope to it holds, and then get out of here. As I just said to Thomas, this is a beautiful thing. Didn't need little strap. Also, I am that person that comes to buy an engine without straps. So thanks, bro. This is it. Pretty much all these tyres are good for a strap to get into. So super sturdy. Thankfully, F-Truck's got tie down points and heaps of them. So this one going to that back corner, one going here, and then this one going from that corner, wrapped around the head and down into that front corner. So they're pretty much all just fighting each other to hold this forklift power plant in. Hopefully, the hour and a half drive home, I don't have someone with a TD in their windscreen. Hopefully it remains in the tray. Also, if you're watching this and you have any of the bits, the bolt to a TD, brackets, engine mounts, AC gear, or a TD manual bell housing for daddy, drop a comment or reach out to me on the gram because I need it. Please help. Anyway, let's get the out of here. What we've successfully achieved here today, folks, is the dirtiest, cheapest engine out there in the back of one of the most expensive American utes that's out there. But it's all very exciting. Thomas?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, brother. You got us out of trouble. You let us know when a dirty Datsun is ready to go and we'll come back and film it, I reckon.
Yeah.
We'll show the people just how tidy a GQ can be. Good to have inspiration as well, because that thing is immaculate. We better get this engine to Corey at Donnelly's because he's got some work ahead of him, but see you soon, bro. Do you ever sort of get that feeling like you've done something bad? Wow. There's a blown up TD42 in the back of this thing and I'm having all those feelings. Okay, folks, it's a new bloody day. It's a new outfit. We got a new thing behind us and it's all happening. We're on our way to Sydney for the Sydney National Bloody 4x4 show. In the tub of this thing is still that motor that we're getting built for the GQ. But behind that is the car trailer with the 1000 horsepower 80 series. We're taking it down to the Sydney show for the first time, so I'm pretty bloody stoked about that. Anyway, before we can get to Sydney, we've got to do one very important thing, and that is drop this engine off to the legendary team at Donnelly's Engineering. Corey and the homies there are going to be taking care of this thing until we're ready to strip it down, rebuild it, machine it up, and hopefully make it that 250, 300 horsepower soot-breathing monster that we are aiming for. So we're going to cruise there now. From where I am at the moment, it's about 45 minutes, so it's not too far. My only hesitation is that I don't think we're going to be able to get the engine out of the tub with the car trailer on there, so we might have to bloody unhitch the trailer and get creative with an overhead crane sort of thing, but that's all right. All in a day's work for old Sambo here. Then, once the team at Donnelly's have got it, we can finally start looking at piecing all the parts of this puzzle together, strip it down, see what it needs, see what it has, see just how it is, and start building something that's going to be super spicy, super reliable, legal, hopefully allow me to do some registered touring. See what happens, I guess. Also, how fresh are these? These are the new Lost and Living caps. We got a whole bunch of cool stuff on the website that's just dropped. The whole winter range is now available. Hoodies, beanies, a couple of sorts of caps, obviously all our staple shirts. We even got a budget line of shirts coming up as well because we know how expensive life is right now. Pump out this 40-minute drive down to the Gold Coast. We'll pick up when we get there. Also, the F-Truck toe's so good. Slap her in bloody toe and haul mode. Smooth as butter, baby. Picture this. You're driving a fully loaded F-150 through the Gold Coast's worst possible peak hour traffic. It's a nightmare. Okay, this is pretty much going to be the last look at this as a whole, looking disgusting, because we made it to Taco Bell, where we're rebuilding the engine with the grease they cook your tacos in. No, I'm kidding. It's the boys, we made it. Now, they reckon they've got a gantry type crane. We're about 700 meters long, and it's quite a tight spot. So getting the TD, I mean, you guys saw how it was getting it in there. Now we're gonna get it out of there. But anyway, I'm gonna show the guys the 80 series, and then we'll deal with that abortion. Okay, team, we are here with the man that we spoke about in the car. This is Corey from Donnelly's Engineering. Now, there's a look of hatred on his face, and that's because there's a TD in the back of this and not an FTE, but we're going to gloss over that for now. Budget wasn't going to allow an FTE just yet. But on face value, this thing looks pretty clean and tidy. But before we unload it and we take it into the shop, we're going to start stripping it down in a couple of weeks' time. But I want to see what your thoughts are on, you know, initial inspections, and what are we hoping to find when we open this thing up?
Hopefully, we're hoping to find that everything actually looks pretty okay. Overall, inspecting the engine, it actually looks pretty tidy. Doesn't smell like it's been cooked or anything along those lines. Hopefully we strip it down, we find hasn't grabbed any liners on the bores, so we don't have any cracked bores or anything like that. Following ahead of that, if that's all good, we'll pull the liners out, put a new set of unfinished liners in there, torque plate hone the block, machine liner heights, do all that jazz, recondition the head, and then we'll put some spicy internals in it.
We are fans of spicy bits on this channel, that's for sure. Now, best case scenario, with all the supporting mods, all the fruit that we can throw at this thing, do you want to try and guesstimate a number early on and see where it lands?
I reckon we'll be somewhere between 270 to 300.
Pretty respectable numbers. I'm super excited. We bought this thing, we filmed us picking it up, we bought it from a really young dude that's just absolutely frothing it, and we've actually got footage of this thing still running in the state that it was in now, so that gives me a tiny bit of hope that it's not completely and utterly rooted. Let's get this thing inside, unloaded. It's gonna have a couple of sleepovers here at Donnelly's before we start tearing it down, but I'm keen. Let's do it. All right, team, we've delivered the goods. Now, we're not going to hook in today because I am due in Sydney in like 4 hours time, and I'm 10 hours away. So you do the math. In a couple of months, we're going to come back. We're going to tear this down with this man right here. And we're going to see how bad it is, what needs doing, what needs replacing, build it up. And we're going to bring you guys along for every step of the ride. So it should be really cool. In the meantime, sit on your hands and wait. That's what we're going to be doing.
Sure.
Anyway, bro, appreciate you.
We'll
see you in a couple of months.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, folks, well, that is the TD dropped off to Corey and the team at Donnelly's. Now, I am super excited to get stuck into that, get our teeth sunk in, but we have got some things to do before we do that. The rough plan for that engine is very exciting. We're not getting as carried away as what we did with the 80 series. We're going to keep this one a little bit more respectable and a little bit more attainable and affordable, but we are still going to push as many boundaries as possible. Very exciting. Don't mind that. It's just the F-Truck yelling at me. It does that from time to time. Super keen. Drop a comment below. What do you reckon we should aim for out of that TD? Reliability, fuel economy, or power, baby? Drop it in the comments below. Anyway, I've got some Ks to cover. I don't know when we're going to pick this episode up again. It might be done now, or it might be when I start tearing down a TD. Who knows? Anyway, bye.